top strongest armies in the world. Over the past decade, the world has been put on a roller coaster of armed conflicts. This is evidence of the First and Second World War, as well as civil and international wars going on today. Countries of the world have sought to arm themselves and provide some defense to get into the action when needed. This is through a military. A military is simply defined as the armed forces responsible for securing and defending a country. These militaries have undergone training and are provided with sophisticated weapons and gears that would best suit scenarios. Today, we will look at the top 10 strongest militaries around the world. Before we begin, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification to get alert when we release new content. Number 10, Turkey. The Turkish armed forces are the 10th strongest in the world. It has an outstanding budget of $18.2 billion. The Turkey's armed forces are one of the largest in the Eastern Mediterranean. Although lacking an aircraft carrier, it has a total of 13 submarines, 3,778 tanks, and 410,500 frontline personnel. Only 5 countries on Credit Suisse list have more submarines than Turkey. Turkey is also a committed member of the F-35 program. Number 9, the United Kingdom. It has an outstanding budget of $60.5 billion and an active frontline personnel of over 146,000. Although the UK is planning to reduce the size, it can count on being able to project its power around the world. The Royal Navy is planning to put the HMS Queen Elizabeth, an aircraft carrier that has a flight deck measuring 4.5 acres, into service, carrying 40 F-35B Joint Strike Fighters across the globe. It has 407 tanks, 336 aircrafts, and 10 submarines. Number 8, Italy. The Italian military has an outstanding budget of $34 billion. The Italian military placed highly on Credit Suisse report due to the country's possession of 2 active aircraft carriers. These carriers, in addition to the country's relatively large submarines, attack helicopters fleet, drastically boosted Italy's ranking. It has a total of 6 submarines, 760 tanks, and 320,000 frontline personnel. Number 7, South Korea. South Korea has been left with little choices but to have large and capable military in the face of potential North Korean aggression. Its military budget is $62.3 billion. With those realities in mind, South Korea has several submarines, attack helicopters, and active personnel. The country also has numerous tanks and the 7th largest air force in the world. Its total army comprises of 13 submarines, 1,412 aircrafts, 2,381 tanks, and 624,465 frontline personnel. Number 6, France. The French military is relatively small but highly trained, professional, and capable of force projection. It has a total budget of $62.3 billion. The country has a nearly new aircraft carrier, Charles de Gaulle, and France routinely engages in military deployment throughout Africa to help stabilize governments and fight against extremism. Its army comprises of 10 submarines, 423 tanks, 1,264 aircrafts, and 202,761 frontline personnel. Number 5, India. India is one of the largest military powers on the planet. It has the most active manpower of any country outside China and the US, with a whopping 1,325,000 personnel, and in addition to the most tanks and aircraft of any country besides the US, China, or Russia. India also has access to nuclear weapons. It's expected to become the 4th highest military splendor. It has 15 submarines, 6,464 tanks, 1,905 aircrafts. Number 4. Japan. In absolute terms, the Japanese military is relatively small. Nonetheless, the country is extremely well equipped. It has 247,172 frontline personnel and 678 tanks. According to the Credit Suisse, it has the fourth largest submarine fleet on the list with 16 submarines. Japan also has 4 aircraft carriers, although these vessels are only equipped with helicopter fleet. Total aircraft is 1,613. Japan also has the fourth largest attack helicopter fleet behind China, Russia, and the US. The total budget amounts to $41.6 billion. Number 3. China. The Chinese military has grown rapidly in terms of both size and capacity in the past few decades. In terms of raw manpower, it's the largest military in the world with 2.3 million personnel. It also has the second largest tank fleet behind Russia and the second largest submarine fleet behind the US. It has 9,150 tanks and 67 submarines. China has also made rapid strides in its military modernization program, now developing a range of potentially game-changing military technologies, including ballistic missiles and fifth-generation aircraft. Its total military budget amounts to $216 billion. Number 2. Russia. The Russian armed forces are the unquestioned second largest military force in the world, with a total budget of $84.5 billion and a 766,000 frontline personnel. Russia has the world's largest tank fleet, the second largest aircraft fleet behind the US, and the third largest submarine fleet behind the US and China. This tank fleet totals to 15,398 tanks. It also has 55 submarines and 3,429 aircrafts. Number 1. The United States of America. The US is the highest, and its budget surpasses the previous 6 combined. This is a total of $601 billion. America's biggest conventional military advantage is its fleet of 10 aircraft carriers. In comparison, India, which is constructing its third carrier, has the second most carrier in the world. The US also has by far the most aircraft of any country, 13,892. Cutting-edge technology like the Navy's new railgun and a large, well-trained human force of 1.4 million people. A whopping number of 8,848 tanks and 72 submarines. This is by far the strongest military without comparison. If there is a third world war, does your country stand a chance against any of these? Or what alliance would you want to form with these? Tell us in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Also, turn on the notification to get alert on new content.